Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. My name is Sangeeta Sharma, your business and finance mentor. In today's session, we will learn about Stand Up India scheme for women and SC entrepreneur. In this today's session, we will learn what is Stand Up India scheme, the loan eligibility criteria, what are the documents required, how do bank evaluate your loan process under this scheme, what are the common mistakes that entrepreneur make and that leads to the loan rejection, and some important steps that entrepreneur can take and improve his or her chances of loan approval. So let's start. Let's start with what is Stand Up India scheme. Stand Up India scheme is a composite loan scheme launched by Government of India to facilitate greenfield projects run by women entrepreneur, ST entrepreneur, to assist them with the bank loans from ranging from 10 lakhs to 1 crore. The eligible sectors are manufacturing, trading, service sector, and agriculture allied activities. This scheme is not particularly a subsidy scheme. This is a credit bank scheme that helps entrepreneurs through credit facilitation programs. Okay, what is the eligibility criteria? The first stage, it should be the firm must be run by women or SC entrepreneur, and in case it is non-individual entity, the 51% shareholding should be owned by either women or SC category. The age of the applicant must be 18 years. There should be no default in the CIBIL, either business or personal CIBIL of the applicant, and there should be no overdues, and the assistance is provided only to greenfield projects, and minimum margin amount is 15% should be put in by the borrower. What are the documents required? Let's start with the promoter KYC is required, like his Aadhaar card, PAN card, if he's on rent agreement, passport copy. Then we talk about business documents. Then business document, first and foremost important is Uddam registration certificate. Then comes your GST registration certificate, and then if any license is required, license proof. If you have applied for it, then you can submit that too. And if it is a non-business entity, suppose if it is a partnership firm, then partnership deed is required, and if it is a LLP, then LLP registration certificate, and if it is a company, then your MOA AOA certificate of incorporation. And then we come to the financial document part, the ITR of the proprietor or partners or directors, whatever the case may be. Since it is a greenfield project, we require the project report. If it is a term loan, then we require the quotation of your machinery and a lease deed copy. If it is a term loan, then the lease deed copy is required, otherwise rent agreement will also work. And then comes your projection report, your complete business plan, your viability report, market search report. Always remember that if your documentation is proper, then this builds the credibility of your professionalism, and this also enhances the chances of approval of your loan. How do bank evaluate your loan proposal? So bank look for the viability, your feasibility of the project, what is your repayment capacity, and exact matrix that is mostly used by most of the banks is here. Let me explain. First matrix is promoter assessment. What bank check is the background of the promoter, their qualification, domain expertise, their financial discipline. Then comes their credit history, how they have paid the past loans, and what was the pattern. And this they check through their CIBIL reports, CIC reports like Crore, Equifax, Experian. There are many. And then the last is their overall financial behavior, and the second is market feasibility. In this, the bank check for clarity of their your target customers, your pricing strategy, the competition mapping, that is most important, and the supply chain and procurement feasibility is the business project report that you have put onto the bank. Is it really feasible? It does not, it should not be like this, that up to a certain time period you are following it, since and after that it is completely becoming difficult for you, so they check for the feasibility of this. Now the third matrix is financial viability. In this, the bank check for expected sales backed by logic, gross margin percentage, and break even, your break even timeline, your projected DSCR, your repayment capacity, and your financials. Now the fourth category is security and safeguard. The margin contribution, as per scheme, the minimum margin required is 15% to be paid by the promoter. Next is collateral if it is required, and the if you are not having the collateral, then the CGTMSC applicability, this the bank check for. The fifth and the last matrix is overall risk profile, sensitivity to external risk, sustainability during your slow business periods, your contingency plan if something happens, how will you get back, what are your contingency planning. Always remember a proposal is approved only when the risk is acceptable and can be mitigated. Now, reasons for rejection. Here are some common rejection triggers that are included. Let's discuss. First is inflated sales projection without supporting any logic. I have seen many business entrepreneurs in the first year they put that the sales will increase by 200 lakhs or maybe 500 lakhs without any supporting logic. The next the most common is unstructured business plan. They don't know how to make a proper business plan. No promoter contribution. Most people think that no promoter contribution is required, and that's when the loan gets rejected. Weak credit history. There are many defaults in their CIBIL. And then next is lack of clarity on when and where the loan funds will be utilized. This is the most important. When you are applying for a loan, you must know how you will be utilizing it and how and where the funds will go, because and utilization is much more important for bank. The next common trigger is business not commercially feasible based on local market. Suppose you are putting us something like that is not possible to be sold in the local market. So this also triggers the rejection reason. Then comes unrealistic break even timeline. Then the next is and the last is blind dependencies on subsidies. Now, rejection is not emotional; it is purely risk-based and decision-making. This is up to bank. If they don't find that this the project is feasible or this is a high-risk project, they will not sanction it. Okay. Now, what are the steps that an entrepreneur can take to improve his chances of approval of loan probability? Let's discuss them one by one. So, first is build a financially sound project report. Then they can prepare three realistic sales scenarios. Just mentioning one as conservative, moderate, and then optimistic. You can showcase your domain knowledge directly or indirectly. Suppose you have worked in an industry where you have got some work experience, you can show that you know how these things work. And then is demonstrate promoter contribution from verifiable sources like your account statement that you have paid directly to the account of the supplier, and the supplier bill invoice is also required. And then next is you need to ensure that your credit history is stable with no recent check bounces. Yes, check bounces are also included when the bank check your credit history. So please ensure that there are no recent check bounces at least in the past 6 months. You can display your breakup of how you will utilize the fund clearly, because bank will know that you know how you have to ensure the end utilization of the funds. Now next is you can add 5 to 10% consistency in your cost of project. And also be always ready or prepared to explain the revenue logic professionally. If the bank will see the clarity, the control, and the commercial sense, the approval probability will itself increase. So please ensure that you know what you're going to do with the funds, and these are only small steps that you can take to ensure and improve the chances of your loan approval. Okay, let's learn about the application process, how you can apply for this under this scheme. Okay, either you can approach your nearest bank branch directly, or you can simply go through the LDM office, that is lead district manager. You can go to their office and apply through there, or there is one more way, you can apply through the portal standupmitra.in. Now, the first step is either you are visiting directly, or suppose you are applying through the portal standupintra.in. Now, after you have logged in into the portal, you have to enter the full details of your business location, and then you have to select the category between SC, ST, women, and whether the stakeholder stake held by the is 51% or higher by them in case of non-business enterprise. Thereafter, you have to select the nature of the proposed business, the loan amount required by you, the description of your business, and the details of the business premises. Now, the fifth step is you need to populate the fields that past business, your experience. It should also include your tenure. Okay. Now, next is select the need for hand holding, if it is required by you or not. Now, after you have selected all these categories, you have filled them, then you need to enter your personal details that they are asking, the portal is asking, which can also include the name of enterprise and the constitution of enterprise. And now the last step is just select the registration button, and the process is completed. Once this process is completed, you are eligible to initiate your stand up India loan scheme application process, and this will go to the directly to the financial institution you have selected, and they will contact you for the further formality, the further documentation, whatever is required. So to conclude, Stand Up India is a great opportunity for the women, for these assist entrepreneurs who are very serious about their businesses, who were lacking only financial opportunity. They can easily avail this scheme and just grow their business. So if this episode resonated with you, please share with a woman entrepreneur, with an assist entrepreneur who can be helped through this video. And also, if you are serious about building your business, you can follow my page, my this YouTube channel, and my WhatsApp channel, where I give small and important tips for your business finance related, for your risk profile related.